Hi, Bob Kendrick here with Tom Bosco. A little bit of a discussion about the one-year anniversary of the village of East Palestine's train derailment and subsequent toxic chemical release. Again, 1 year ago, as of February the 3rd. And Tom and I are looking into what has been going on in the village since then as far as the cleanup and allaying of fears for the residents that live there. So, Tom, you were there several weeks ago and had a chance to talk with a lot of residents. What was the sort of the vibe you got from the town, and did it surprise you at all?
Yeah, it did. I'll tell you. You know, I went, of course, a number of times when this all happened in February of 2023, and people at that time were angry. They were mad, seething, white-hot mad.
Scared.
Yeah, and scared too, obviously. But, you know, I went back in early January of this year, and I was really kind of surprised at how low-key the vibe was. I really expected that I was going to see either signs on lawns or in storefronts, angry at the government, angry at the rail company, angry at somebody, and I didn't really quite see that. I did see one sign in one person's yard that said, East Palestine stands united against Norfolk-Southern. But, you know, the folks I talked to just kind of don't know what to think right now. They're kind of uncertain about where things are going and where who they should trust and what they should believe. And so as far as anger, you know, I asked one gentleman, I said, hey, do you feel like Norfolk-Southern's doing enough? And he said, well, they're still here, aren't they? So that's good. So, you know, he was pleased with that. And he was also worried about the environment and whether streams and water and the air was safe enough to drink and to breathe. So, I mean, and then I talked to another woman who was like, we just don't know what to believe. We don't know who to believe and what info to believe. Yeah, they're telling us things are safe and things are back to normal and things are good, but should we believe that or not?
It comes down to a trust issue, and maybe maybe that's a personality thing, but maybe we don't know for another decade. It might be the long term before anybody really has the assurance that the town is back to being a safe place to raise a family and live.
And you were there a few weeks after me, and you talked to the EPA. You also talked to Norfolk-Southern. I mean, what's their attitude? Oh, everything's great.
Yeah, of course. A lot of promises were made in the wake of the disaster. The governor said he would be sure to hold the railroad accountable because they'd caused the problem. The EPA said they were going to get to the bottom of this and make sure that everything was safe and that long-term monitoring was in place. And the local government as well, saying they would be working with all of the different entities involved with trying to get this back right again. And Norfolk-Southern itself saying they would be there for as long as it took to make the village whole again. And in the year, as you heard from residents, it seems that the work continues. It does continue. The disaster site itself has been, for the most part, mediated. The soil made safe again, they think. A lot of work has gone on to make sure that the water is being tested and that the water that was affected has been taken away from the site now. So there has been work continuing, and the scope of it, I have to say, is really it's astounding.
Huge.
The scope of the project. It is continuing. Work is continuing very obviously within the town, but there is this schism as well. There's this divide within the town, and I don't know the percentages involved here, but there is definitely a faction within the town that is not trusting and is not convinced that things are going fine. And of course, town leadership, whom declined to talk with us, want to change the narrative away from the disaster to the town moving forward. So there's that camp, and there's the other camp that still is like, whoa, wait, we're not ready to just move on yet. And there's a little bit of bad blood in the town as a result of that, I'm hearing.
And I heard that as well. I spoke with one woman who said the town is very, very divided. She said one thing that's dividing people is that, you know, people are making claims about medical problems and about things that they think are caused by the chemicals and the derailment. And she said there's another side of the town that says, no, you people are making that up.
Right.
And it really is kind of interesting to see that what that has done to the town and divided it like that.
That's going to be a dynamic that they deal with for many years, perhaps. And yeah, as you say, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out in the long term as well. Tom and I have done a series of reports on East Palestine a year since the disaster and where the town is at mentally and physically as far as the cleanup. And those will be available for you to watch on our social media platforms. And of course, we're going to continue to be in East Palestine and continue to monitor the situation there very closely in the years to come to find out if promises being made are being kept. Thanks for joining us.